Confidence. It's the one trait that changes everything. With confidence, you walk into a room and people notice. With confidence, you speak and others listen. With confidence, you act boldly, take risks, and create opportunities most people only dream about. But without it, you hesitate. You shrink. You second-guess yourself. You watch life pass by knowing you're capable of more, but unable to step into it. The truth is this: confidence is not something you're born with. It is something you build. And in the next 7 days, you can begin building unshakable confidence. The kind that doesn't crumble under pressure, the kind that carries you through challenges, the kind that transforms your life forever. So listen closely, because every word of this journey matters. You're not here by accident. You're here because a part of you knows it's time to stop doubting and start becoming the confident person you were always meant to be. Day 1. The decision. Confidence begins with a decision. Not a decision about what you will achieve, not even about who you want to become, but a decision to stop living small. Think about it. Every confident person you admire once stood where you are, uncertain, hesitant, insecure. But at some point they made a choice. A choice to no longer let fear be the driver. A choice to act even when they didn't feel ready. A choice to rewrite their story. Today you make that same choice. Say this to yourself: I decide to build unshakable confidence. I decide to believe in myself. I decide to take action no matter how I feel. Confidence is not waiting for the fear to disappear. It is acting despite the fear. And that begins with your decision. Day 2. The power of self-talk. The loudest voice in your life is not the critic, the doubter, or the hater. It's your own. Every day your inner voice whispers beliefs into your mind. Some are empowering: I can handle this. I am capable. I am enough. But others are destructive: I'm not good enough. I always fail. People won't accept me. If you repeat the destructive voice long enough, it becomes your reality. But here's the secret: you can change the script. From this moment, your self-talk becomes your greatest weapon. Instead of "I can't," you will say, "I can." Instead of "I'm not ready," you will say, "I am prepared." Instead of "What if I fail?" you will say, "What if I succeed?" Every word you say to yourself is either a seed of doubt or a seed of confidence. Plant the seeds of confidence daily and watch your life change. Day 3. Small wins, big confidence. Confidence does not come from giant leaps. It comes from small wins stacked over time. When you set a goal, follow through, and achieve it, your brain says, "See, I can trust myself." That trust is confidence. So today your mission is simple: create small wins. Wake up and make your bed. Exercise for 10 minutes. Speak up once in a meeting or class. Introduce yourself to someone new. Each win may seem small, but together they create momentum. And momentum creates unshakable confidence. Day 4. Body language of power. Your body speaks before your mouth ever does. The way you stand, sit, and move communicates to the world, and to your own brain, whether you feel weak or strong. The non-confident slouches, avoids eye contact, and minimizes their presence. The confident stands tall, shoulders back, chin lifted, eyes forward. Here's the science. When you adopt powerful body language, your brain releases hormones that actually make you feel more confident. Change your posture and you change your state. So from this moment, act as if you are confident, even if you don't feel it yet. Walk with purpose. Speak with clarity. Look people in the eye. Your body will convince your mind. Day 5. Exposure to fear. Fear shrinks confidence. But when you face fear, it loses power. Think of the things you avoid because of fear. Speaking in public, starting a conversation, sharing your ideas, trying something new. Each avoidance shrinks your confidence. So today you take the opposite approach. Expose yourself to fear one step at a time. Start small. Speak up in a group. Make eye contact and smile at strangers. Share your opinion in a discussion. Each act is training. Each act tells your brain, "I can handle this." Fear will not vanish overnight. But with exposure, fear shrinks, and confidence grows. Day 6. Aligning with your values. Confidence is not just about how you act. It is about who you are. When you live aligned with your values, confidence flows naturally. When you betray your values, doubt eats you from the inside. So ask yourself, what do I stand for? What matters most to me? Where in my life am I not living true to my values? Align your actions with your values and you won't need to fake confidence. It will radiate from within. Day 7, Vision and Identity. True confidence comes from identity, from seeing yourself not as someone trying to become confident, but as someone who is confident. So today you create a new vision of yourself. See yourself walking into any room with certainty. See yourself speaking clearly and powerfully. See yourself pursuing your dreams boldly. Hold this vision daily until it becomes your reality. Because your brain does not fight against identity. When you believe, I am confident, your actions naturally align. Confidence is not built in a single day. But in 7 days of deliberate action, you can spark the transformation. You can begin the journey from hesitation to unshakable confidence. And if you repeat these practices daily, decision, self-talk, small wins, body language, facing fear, aligning with values and building identity, confidence will not just grow. It will become unshakable. Confidence is not a destination. It is not a switch you flip or a prize you win. Confidence is a practice. And like any practice, it must be repeated, reinforced, and lived until it becomes part of who you are. That's why the 7-day framework you've begun is more than a short-term challenge. It is the foundation for a lifelong transformation. The truth about fear and doubt. Understand this. Confident people still feel fear. They still face doubt. They still have moments of hesitation. The difference is simple. They don't let fear make their decisions. They don't allow doubt to paralyze them. They don't confuse temporary feelings with permanent truth. You must learn the same skill. Whenever fear arises, pause and remind yourself, fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Fear means you are growing. Fear means you are stepping into new territory. Fear means you are alive. The moment you reframe fear, confidence grows stronger. Rewiring the brain for confidence. Your brain is always adapting. It rewires itself based on the thoughts you think, the actions you take, and the experiences you repeat. If you constantly replay failure in your mind, your brain will reinforce insecurity. If you constantly rehearse doubt, your brain will strengthen fear. But if you deliberately feed your brain images of success, affirmations of strength, and experiences of courage, your brain will rewire itself for confidence. This is not theory. This is science. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to change. What you focus on, you strengthen. So every time you visualize yourself succeeding, every time you affirm your ability, every time you take action despite fear, you are rewiring your brain for confidence. The cycle of confidence. Confidence is built through a cycle. Belief. You believe you can act. Action. You take a step forward even if small. Experience. You see results, even small wins. Reinforcement. Your brain learns, I can do this. Stronger belief. And the cycle repeats. The more times you go through this cycle, the stronger your confidence becomes. So the secret is not waiting until you feel confident. The secret is acting first and letting confidence follow. Rejection as training. One of the greatest killers of confidence is rejection. We fear it. We avoid it. We let it silence us. But here is the truth. Rejection is not fatal. Rejection is redirection. It is training. It is proof that you are stepping into the arena of life instead of hiding in the stands. Think of the most confident people in the world. Leaders, entrepreneurs, artists, athletes. Every one of them has faced rejection. Most have faced it hundreds, even thousands of times. What separates them from the rest is simple. They used rejection as fuel instead of a cage. So if you want unshakable confidence, seek rejection. Not because you enjoy pain, but because every rejection is another brick in the fortress of your confidence. The role of environment. Confidence is not built in isolation. Your environment either supports it or sabotages it. If you surround yourself with critics, doubters, and complainers, your confidence will wither. If you surround yourself with encouragers, achievers, and dreamers, your confidence will thrive. Look closely at the people around you. Do they lift you higher or do they pull you down? Do they remind you of your potential, or do they constantly highlight your flaws? Confidence is contagious, both ways. So choose carefully who gets access to your mind and your heart. Identity shift. To make confidence unshakable, you must go deeper than action. You must shift your identity. Stop saying, "I'm trying to be confident." Instead say, "I am confident." Your brain resists goals that contradict your identity. But when your identity shifts, your brain aligns your behavior automatically. If you see yourself as confident, you will naturally act confidently. If you see yourself as strong, you will naturally respond with strength. If you see yourself as capable, you will naturally rise to the challenge. Identity is the root of confidence. Change the root and the fruit will follow. Affirmations for confidence. Let these words sink into your mind. I am confident. I am worthy of respect. I am capable of achieving greatness. I walk with certainty. I speak with clarity. I live with courage. Fear does not control me. Doubt does not define me. Confidence is who I am. Repeat these daily. Not because the words are magic, but because repetition reshapes belief. Belief fuels action. And action builds confidence. The legacy of confidence. Finally, understand this: building unshakable confidence is not just about you. When you step into confidence, you inspire others. When you speak boldly, you give others permission to speak. When you chase your dreams, you awaken dreams in others. Your confidence becomes a legacy. It ripples outward, touching lives you may never even know. So this journey is not selfish. It is service. Because when you become unshakably confident, you shine a light that helps others find their own. Confidence is not given. It is built. Brick by brick, choice by choice, action by action. And as you keep building day by day, you will discover the truth. You are always capable. You are always worthy. You are always meant to be unshakably confident. Confidence is not built in isolation. It comes alive in the way you show up with others. How you speak, how you connect, how you lead. And the good news? Every interaction is an opportunity to strengthen your confidence. Confidence in relationships. Many people lose confidence in relationships. They doubt whether they are enough. They fear rejection, abandonment, or judgment. They stay silent when they want to speak. They hide parts of themselves in order to please others. But here's the truth: confidence in relationships does not come from trying to be perfect. It comes from authenticity. When you are honest, when you are real, when you show up as yourself, you radiate confidence. Not everyone will accept you, but the right people will. And that is all that matters. Stop asking, "Will they like me?" Start asking, "Do I like who I am when I'm with them?" This single shift transforms how you connect. The art of confident communication. Confidence is visible in the way you speak. Think of someone who speaks timidly, mumbling, apologizing, rushing. Now think of someone who speaks with confidence. Clear voice, steady pace, eye contact, conviction. The difference is not talent. It is practice. To communicate with confidence. Slow down. Rushing makes you sound uncertain. Project your voice. Not louder but clearer. Eliminate fillers. Replace and with pauses. Look people in the eye. Not as intimidation but as connection. Communication is not about perfection. It is about presence. And presence grows with practice. Public speaking, the confidence amplifier. Few things build confidence faster than public speaking. It is feared by many but mastered by the confident. Every time you stand before others and share your voice, you train your confidence. At first your hands may shake. Your heart may race. But each repetition rewires your brain. Soon what once terrified you becomes natural. Remember, your goal in speaking is not to impress. It is to express. Speak from the heart and confidence will carry your words. Confidence in leadership. Leadership is not a title. It is the ability to step forward when others step back. It is the courage to say, "Follow me," even when the path is uncertain. Confidence is the foundation of leadership. A leader without confidence hesitates, doubts, and wavers. But a confident leader brings clarity, certainty, and trust. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be the smartest in the room. But if you lead with confidence, with steady belief and clear direction, people will follow. Leadership is not arrogance. It is service fueled by confidence. The difference between confidence and arrogance. Some confuse confidence with arrogance, but the two are worlds apart. Arrogance is loud, insecure, and needy. It seeks validation by putting others down. It is brittle, easily broken by criticism. Confidence is quiet, secure, and steady. It does not need to boast. It uplifts others instead of diminishing them. It is strong enough to face criticism without crumbling. True confidence is not about being better than others. It is about being the best version of yourself. Daily habits of confident people. Confidence is not built by one grand act. It is sustained by small daily habits. Confident people prepare. They don't wing everything, they prepare so they can perform. Move their body. Exercise builds strength not just physically but mentally. Speak affirmations. They program their minds with empowering words. Take risks. Every day they step slightly outside their comfort zone. Reflect. They review their wins, learn from losses, and keep growing. These habits compound over time. And compounded confidence becomes unshakable. Visualization. Seeing before becoming. One of the most powerful tools for building confidence is visualization. Close your eyes and imagine. You walk into a room. Heads turn. You stand tall. Your voice is steady. You speak with clarity. You act with certainty. When you visualize with detail and emotion, your brain begins to believe it has already happened. And when you step into the real moment, your mind says, I know this. I've been here before. Athletes use this to win championships. Performers use this to dominate stages. You can use this to build confidence in any area of life. The ripple effect of small acts. Confidence is not only built in big moments. It is built in small, consistent acts. Every time you hold eye contact instead of looking away, you build confidence. Every time you speak up instead of staying silent, you build confidence. Every time you finish a task you promised yourself, you build confidence. Brick by brick, these small acts create a fortress. And one day you realize, the person who once hesitated is gone. The person who now stands is unshakable. Reclaiming confidence after failure. What about when you fail? What about when you stumble, fall short, or embarrass yourself? The non-confident sees failure as proof they are not enough. The confident sees failure as training. Every confident person you admire has failed, often more times than you can count. But instead of quitting, they kept going. And each failure became fuel. Confidence is not built by avoiding failure. It is built by surviving failure and rising stronger. Say this: failure is not the opposite of confidence. Failure is the training ground of confidence. Your unshakable core. True confidence is not fragile. It does not crumble when criticized. It does not vanish when challenged. It does not depend on constant praise. Why? Because true confidence is built on an unshakable core. That core is this: you are enough. Not because of what you achieve. Not because of what others think. Not because of perfection. You are enough simply because you exist, because you are capable of growth, because you are worthy of standing tall in your own life. When you anchor to this truth, confidence becomes unshakable. Confidence is not reserved for a chosen few. It is available to anyone willing to build it, practice it, and live it. And that includes you. Every choice you make, every action you take, every belief you reinforce, they are bricks in the foundation of your unshakable confidence. So stand taller. Speak clearer. Act bolder. Your confident life is not ahead of you, it begins right now. Pressure. It's where most people crack and where true confidence is revealed. Anyone can act confident when things are easy. But when the stakes are high, when the spotlight is on, when mistakes carry weight, that is when unshakable confidence separates itself from shallow confidence. Confidence under pressure. Think of the athlete standing on the free throw line in the final seconds. Think of the leader making a critical decision in crisis. Think of the performer stepping onto the stage before thousands. In these moments, the mind screams with doubt. The heart races. The body shakes. But the confident person breathes, grounds themselves, and acts anyway. Confidence under pressure is not about eliminating nerves. It's about controlling them. Here's the secret: nerves and excitement feel the same in the body. The only difference is the label you give them. Call it fear and you shrink. Call it excitement and you rise. So when pressure comes, reframe it. This is not fear. This is energy. This is my body preparing me to perform. The power of preparation. Confidence under pressure grows from preparation. The speaker who prepared their talk is calm. The athlete who trained is steady. The leader who studied options acts decisively. Preparation builds trust, not in luck but in yourself. So prepare. Not out of fear but out of respect for yourself. Because preparation is self-respect. Resilience, bouncing back stronger. Confidence is not about never being knocked down. It is about how quickly you rise when you fall. Resilience is confidence stretched through adversity. The resilient person says, I am not defined by this setback. I will not stay down. I will rise stronger. Each time you recover from a fall, your confidence multiplies. Because you no longer fear failure, you've proven you can survive it. Dealing with criticism. Confidence attracts criticism. The moment you step forward, someone will try to pull you back. The moment you speak, someone will disagree. The moment you succeed, someone will envy. If your confidence depends on everyone liking you, it will always be fragile. So you must learn this truth: not everyone's opinion matters. Filter feedback. Does it come from someone who has walked the path? Then learn from it. Does it come from a critic who only watches from the sidelines? Then release it. Confidence means caring more about your purpose than about pleasing everyone. The confidence anchor. When storms hit, when voices criticize, when doubts creep in, you need an anchor. That anchor is your why. Why do you want confidence? Why does it matter? Who benefits when you rise? When you anchor to your why, confidence remains steady, even when the waves crash. Long-term mastery of confidence. Unshakable confidence is not built in a week or even a year. It is built across a lifetime. Think of it as a muscle. The more you train, the stronger it grows. The moment you neglect it, it weakens. So treat confidence like daily training. Every day, do one thing that scares you. Speak one affirmation of strength. Take one action aligned with your values. Day by day, you forge a stronger identity. Year by year, you master unshakable confidence. Confidence in uncertainty. Life is unpredictable. The future is unknown. Certainty is rare. But confidence thrives not in certainty, but in uncertainty. Confidence says, I don't know what will happen, but I know I can handle it. This belief frees you. It allows you to act boldly even when the outcome is unclear. It turns uncertainty into possibility. Silencing the inner critic. Your harshest critic is often not out there, it is in here. The voice that says, you're not good enough. You'll embarrass yourself. You don't belong. That inner critic will never disappear fully. But you can silence it. You can replace it. When it whispers doubt, respond with truth. I am capable. I am growing. I am enough. Confidence grows not by removing the critic, but by refusing to obey it. Service-based confidence. The deepest confidence comes not from self-focus, but from service. When you make confidence about yourself, how do I look? Will they like me? What if I fail? You shrink. When you make confidence about others, how can I help? How can I serve? How can I add value? You rise. Shifting focus from self to service frees you from self-consciousness. You are no longer trapped in your own head. You are anchored in purpose. Confidence built on service is unshakable. Living boldly. Confidence is not theory. It is not something you only hear in an audiobook. It is a way of living. Living boldly. Speaking truthfully. Acting courageously. Loving openly. When you live this way, confidence is no longer something you practice. It is who you are. Confidence is not built in silence. It is built in moments of action. Moments of courage. Moments where you step forward even trembling and say, I will not hide. I will not shrink. I will live with unshakable confidence. And every time you do, your confidence grows stronger, deeper, and more unshakable than ever before. Success requires skill, strategy, and opportunity. But above all, success requires confidence. Not arrogance. Not ego. But the quiet, steady belief that you can create, build, and rise. Without confidence, opportunities slip through your fingers. With confidence, opportunities multiply. Confidence in success. Every achievement begins with a single thought: I can. When you believe in your ability to succeed, you begin to act in alignment with that belief. You take the first step. You follow through. You push when others quit. Confidence is the fuel that turns goals into reality. Ask yourself, what would I pursue if I had unshakable confidence? The answer is not just your dream, it is your destiny waiting for you to believe enough to act. Money and confidence. Money itself does not create confidence, but confidence creates money. Think of it: to ask for a raise, you need confidence. To launch a business, you need confidence. To sell your ideas, to attract clients, to lead teams, all of it requires confidence. People are drawn to confidence. They trust it. They invest in it. So if you want financial growth, start by growing your confidence. Because money follows courage, wealth follows belief, and abundance follows unshakable confidence. Confidence in love and relationships. Love is one of the greatest tests of confidence. When you lack confidence, you settle for less than you deserve. You tolerate disrespect. You hide your needs. You cling to people who do not value you. But when you have unshakable confidence, love transforms. You no longer beg for acceptance. You no longer chase those who mistreat you. You no longer hide your true self to keep someone close. Instead, you show up fully, authentically, powerfully. And in doing so, you attract relationships built not on fear, but on mutual respect and love. Confidence is magnetic. It draws healthy love. And it protects you from toxic love. Confidence in failure. Here's the paradox: success requires failure. And confidence is forged not in easy victories, but in hard defeats. When you fail, you have two choices: shrink and let failure define you, or rise and let failure refine you. Confidence chooses the second. Failure is feedback. It is a teacher. It is proof that you are in the arena, playing the game of life while others watch from the sidelines. Unshakable confidence is not the absence of failure. It is the refusal to let failure stop you. The role of gratitude in confidence. Confidence often focuses on what we want to achieve, but gratitude reminds us of what we already have. Gratitude anchors you. It keeps you from chasing validation endlessly. It reminds you that you are already blessed, already capable, already enough. Confident people practice gratitude because it keeps them steady. It prevents arrogance. It nurtures humility. And it builds joy, which is the most attractive confidence of all. Confidence in risk. All growth involves risk. The risk of failure. The risk of rejection. The risk of loss. But confidence transforms risk. It does not eliminate it, but it allows you to move forward anyway. Think of the entrepreneur who risks launching a business. The artist who risks sharing their work. The leader who risks making a bold decision. Without confidence, risk is terrifying. With confidence, risk is an adventure. Every time you take a risk, you grow stronger. And every risk survived becomes another layer of unshakable confidence. The confidence habit. Confidence must become a habit. It is not something you turn on only when you need it. It is something you practice daily until it becomes automatic. Habits build identity. And when confidence is a habit, your identity becomes unshakable. So make confidence your default. Walk tall every day. Speak clearly every day. Act boldly every day. Until one day you no longer think, how can I be confident? Instead, you simply live as the confident person you have become. Passing confidence to others. True confidence is not selfish. It multiplies. When you show up confidently, you inspire your children, your friends, your team, your community. You show them what is possible. You give them permission to step into their own confidence. The world is starving for examples of unshakable confidence. Not arrogance, not ego, but authentic belief. When you build yours, you light the way for others. Your confidence legacy. One day people will remember you. Not just for what you achieved, but for how you carried yourself. For how you walked into rooms. For how you treated others. For how you lived with courage. Confidence is not just about you today. It is about the legacy you leave behind. Will you be remembered as someone who shrank, hesitated, doubted? Or as someone who stood tall, spoke boldly, and lived fully? The choice is yours and it begins now. The confidence mantra. Before we close this section, repeat this to yourself. I am unshakably confident. I rise after every fall. I pursue boldly, love authentically, and lead courageously. My confidence inspires others. Confidence is not something I seek, it is who I am. Confidence is the seed of every great life. Plant it, water it, nurture it daily, and it will grow into a tree that stands unshakable through every storm. And as it grows, so will you, in success, in love, in wealth, and in legacy. Confidence is not a luxury. It is not optional. It is essential. Because without confidence, even the greatest talent remains hidden. Without confidence, even the brightest ideas go unspoken. Without confidence, even the most capable people live lives of hesitation. But with confidence, doors open. With confidence, opportunities multiply. With confidence, you live boldly, love deeply, and leave a legacy that echoes. The confidence choice. At every moment of your life, you face a choice: confidence or hesitation. Do I speak or do I stay silent? Do I act or do I hold back? Do I step forward or do I shrink? The confident choice is rarely the easiest, but it is always the one that transforms. And when you practice choosing confidence over hesitation, you change your future one decision at a time. Confidence in identity. The deepest confidence is not about what you do. It is about who you are. When you know who you are, your values, your worth, your identity, nothing shakes you. Not criticism. Not rejection. Not failure. Because your foundation is not external. It is internal. This is the shift from fragile confidence to unshakable confidence. Fragile confidence depends on approval. Unshakable confidence depends on truth. And the truth is this: you are worthy. You are capable. You are enough. Confidence and authenticity. Pretending drains you. Faking confidence exhausts you. But authenticity frees you. The most confident people are not those who perform a role. They are those who are fully themselves, unapologetically. When you stop trying to be who others expect and start showing up as your real self, confidence flows naturally. Because authenticity is power. And authenticity cannot be shaken. The confidence ritual. To live with confidence, create rituals that anchor you daily. Stand tall each morning and declare your affirmations. Visualize yourself succeeding in the day ahead. Practice gratitude for your strengths and opportunities. Take at least one bold action, however small. These rituals become habits. Habits become identity. And identity becomes destiny. When your days are built on confidence rituals, your life becomes built on unshakable confidence. Confidence in action. Action is the heartbeat of confidence. You cannot think your way into confidence. You cannot wait your way into confidence. You can only act your way into confidence. The more you act, the more evidence you collect. The more evidence you collect, the more you trust yourself. And the more you trust yourself, the more confident you become. Confidence is not waiting until you feel ready. Confidence is acting first, and letting readiness catch up. Unshakable confidence in adversity. Life will test you. It will throw storms, setbacks, losses. And in those moments, confidence will be shaken, if it is shallow. But unshakable confidence? It bends but does not break. It feels fear but still moves forward. It falls but always rises. Because adversity does not destroy confidence, it forges it. Every storm survived is proof. I can endure. I can overcome. I am unshakable. Confidence and vision. Confidence is tied to vision. Without vision, confidence has no direction. With vision, confidence becomes unstoppable. When you see a future that excites you, you naturally find the confidence to pursue it. When you imagine the life you want, the relationships you desire, the impact you dream of, confidence becomes the bridge between vision and reality. So create a bold vision. See it clearly. Believe it deeply. And then walk toward it with unshakable confidence. Breaking free from people-pleasing. One of the greatest enemies of confidence is people-pleasing. Living for approval. Saying yes when you mean no. Hiding your truth to avoid conflict. But unshakable confidence refuses to live this way. The confident person says, I honor others but I do not betray myself. I respect opinions, but I follow my values. I care for people, but I do not live for their approval. Confidence is freedom. And freedom comes when you stop living to please and start living to be true. Confidence and legacy. Ask yourself, how do you want to be remembered? As someone who played small? Or as someone who lived boldly? Your confidence shapes not just your life but your legacy. Your children, your friends, your community, they will remember the way you carried yourself. They will remember whether you lived in fear or in confidence. When you build unshakable confidence, you don't just change your life. You change the lives of those who come after you. Final affirmations. Let these words anchor in your mind. Repeat them until they become your truth. I am unshakably confident. I rise stronger after every setback. I live authentically, speak boldly, and act courageously. I am not defined by fear but by faith. I am not limited by doubt but by possibility. I am enough. I have always been enough. I will always be enough. The final word. Confidence is not built overnight. But in 7 days you can spark the transformation. In 7 days you can break hesitation. In 7 days you can rewire your mind, reshape your habits, and reclaim your power. And if you keep going, if you practice these truths daily, confidence will no longer be something you seek. It will be who you are. Unshakable. Unstoppable. Unforgettable. Your journey begins now. And your confident life awaits.